Rain, snow, rock slides, even tornadoes. This Weather Action Day has it all. What to expect for your morning commute.
It brings tears to the eyes.
Leaders in Loveland outraged by the rough arrest of a 73-year-old with dementia.
I was shocked and I was appalled. It's not what our police are trained to do, I would hope.
The questions they're now raising about the city's police department.
And a concerning coronavirus trend.
We have seen a little bit of an uptick in hospitalizations over the last couple of weeks in kids.
What parents need to know and what it all means for in-person learning. Let's begin tonight with a live look at Genesee. Some tough conditions, especially for drivers right now. We have snow falling and fog limiting visibility.
But in Boulder County, crews are dealing with a rock slide. It happened just before 7, shut down the stretch of road along Boulder Canyon just above Boulder Falls. Police are warning that cleanup will likely keep that road closed into tomorrow. And if that's not enough, we had a tornado in Kiowa County in the very first one of the season. Deputies had to warn people to take shelter this afternoon. Denver7 Chief Meteorologist Mike Nelson joins us now. This Weather Action Day really lived up to its name, Mike.
It did. As a matter of fact, if you're keeping track, there were 5 tornado touchdowns out over far eastern Colorado earlier this afternoon. So a very active day. Right now we have winter storm warnings above 7,500 feet. Snow advisories down in Jefferson County, parts of Douglas County. It's snowing pretty hard when you get up there into the northern portions of the Rockies in Larimer County. And that snow is going to drift southward overnight tonight across much of the high country. Heavy rain up in Cheyenne at the moment, and out to the east we actually have a flood warning in effect for parts of Phillips County and Logan County due to locally heavy rains. This is what it looks like across the state. Most of the rain is northern third of the state. Temperatures are getting colder. They'll drop another 5 to 6 degrees overnight, and so that means by morning we will have some heavy snow in the mountains, mixed snow in the foothills and into the Denver western and southern suburbs. More details coming up.
Thank you, Mike. Hundreds of thousands of people have now watched the video of Karen Garner's arrest in Loveland.
The 73-year-old with dementia was injured after being forced to the ground by a Loveland police officer, and her family is now suing. And the video is raising major questions about the conduct of Loveland police. As
Denver7 CB Cotton reports, city leaders say they need to see accountability for this.
Nearly a year ago, jailhouse surveillance captured these Loveland police officers as they watch body camera footage from their arrest of 73-year-old Karen Garner. The officers fist bump, laugh, and joke about the ordeal. Now the world is watching and has questions for these officers.
To see the kind of behavior, reaction, comments that were made during that, that video, I was shocked.
Loveland City Council member Andrea Sampson says this has to be addressed, and she's calling for the creation of a civilian review board separate from the police department. Denver7 spoke with Loveland Mayor Jackie Marsh and Council member Sampson ahead of a special meeting called for Tuesday.
Ms. Garner could be our grandmother or our aunt or our mom or, us.
It was heartbreaking. Yeah, that would be my first reaction.
Marsh says her next reaction is to ask for answers.
Why wouldn't that raise a red flag?
Loveland police have said the department was unaware of the allegations and lawsuit until the video was released.
Once that information came to us yesterday afternoon, we have gotten on this case very aggressively, very rapidly.
Although this video says otherwise.
Well, regardless, Blue Team not use force.
Blue Team, the department's system to track uses of force, but it's unclear if the arrest was ever reviewed.
I do have a lot of questions. It seems that something should have flagged our police department and investigations. This is almost a year old now.
The community has questions too. Public comments during the special meeting went almost an hour long, with people demanding accountability for the officers and city leaders.
I'm furious at the officers. I'm also furious at you all as city council members.
CB Cotton, Denver7.
All 4 officers now have been placed on administrative leave, and there are increasing calls to fire all of them. But tonight, the city attorney says the council doesn't have that kind of power. Today, a strong indication COVID vaccines are working in Colorado. The state health department says counties with the highest vaccination rates have the lowest rate of new COVID cases.
It's good news for adults who choose the vaccine, but kids under 16 don't have that option. As Denver7 Sloan Dickey reports, doctors are seeing a troubling trend in that age group.
As positive signs emerge that COVID transmission in older Coloradans is stabilizing, new data shows a troubling trend. Case rates are rising among younger Coloradans.
What you see here is that we're really seeing our most rapid increase right now in the state among middle school and high school students. Their rate is much higher than what we're seeing on average for adults in the state.
The largest increase in case rates is impacting adolescents in Colorado aged 11 to 17. State health leaders didn't give a reason as to why we're seeing such a big spike in that age group, but Dr. Sean O'Leary of Children's Hospital Colorado says, look at vaccination rates.
Vaccines are only approved down to age 16, and hopefully in the coming weeks we may have at least one of them improved down to age 12, and that's going to help a lot, I think, in terms of protecting kids, but also the general population as well.
Experts believe that the increase is also correlated to an increase in social activity as older populations receive the vaccines, with the majority of infections coming from variants.
The variants we do think are playing a role, particularly the B.1.1.7 variant, which was the one that was first identified in the United Kingdom. That one does appear to be quite a bit more transmissible than the one that we had circulating before.
The state is also seeing an increase in cases among children aged 3 to 10. Dr. O'Leary says we're still learning a lot about this virus. One thing we do know, kids are not immune.
We've had, depending on what numbers you look at, probably somewhere between 300 and 600 deaths in children in the U.S. from COVID in the past year. That actually, if you look at the actual numbers, puts it in the top 10 causes of death for children.
State health leaders warn we're also seeing an increase in COVID outbreaks in schools. Still, Governor Jared Polis is confident schools are safe, and officials with Denver Public Schools say the spike is not intense enough to end in-person learning.
So I think the major point here is that we're not out of the woods yet on this thing.
For now, doctors are encouraging kids and everyone, stick to the basics. Wear your mask, social distance, and wash your hands. Sloan Dickey, Denver7.
Tomorrow night, President Biden will lay out his plans for the nation, and you can catch his address to Congress right here, 7 p.m., and then stick around for Denver7 News at 10. We're going to have in-depth 360 coverage of the president's remarks.
Tomorrow will mark 1 week since this 4-day-old gypsy colt was stolen from a farm outside Fort Lupton. I spoke with the owners tonight who say they didn't even get a chance to name him before thieves snatched him away.
I don't even want to try to understand what would go through somebody's mind to steal a baby from its mom. I don't know.
The family is offering a reward if you saw anything. Call the Weld County Sheriff's Office.
It's a bold building. It's tricky to build.
Iconic or an eyesore?
It doesn't ring my bells.
Plans to redevelop our own Denver7 building are stoking debate.
This is a purpose-built building that no longer serves the purpose.
I do think residential use in this building could be spectacular.
Tonight, a 360 look at the building we call home and what its future could hold.
Still a very busy radar out there. I'll let you know how much snow some areas are going to see by morning.